everyone, Sarah V here if you don't know me. So I wanted to come on here and talk to you about vibration. If you followed me before, you know that I am all about your vibration, inner vibration that is. And I always say your inner vibration is actually the magnet to what you attract in your life. And, I have done a massive transformation in my life and working on releasing all that low, heavy vibration and actually live in this expansive, high vibration. And all this is a lifelong process. But I feel like I have arrived at a place where I never thought was possible. And I wanted to just share with you some of my top things that I had to release and let go of in order to rise and expand into this brand new, beautiful, electric vibration. The higher the vibration, the more we're able to attract exactly what you want. And some of the things that I'm going to share with you, perhaps you didn't even think about. Maybe you did. So the first one, and this is kind of the reason why I wrote my third book, which is going to be coming out this year, and it's called Sacred Kitchen, Abundant Plate. And sometimes we don't realize that the food that we eat is actually energy. And when we are feeding our bodies, junky food, or we're not eating in a place of peace and calm, that food can actually, weigh, if you will, as an anchor in our souls. So the food that we eat, I am so careful. Not that I've always eaten really well, but I was always in a place, a couple years, or maybe 6 or 7 years ago, where I would be in scarcity and not feed my body properly. I thought that if I didn't eat, then I, my body would be better, but that wasn't the case because my body started to shut completely down. I had so many injuries because I was not in abundance with the food that I was eating. I've always eaten really healthy, but I wasn't eating enough. And now I celebrate the food that I put in my body. And my new book is all about that celebration, the abundance of food. So that's kind of number one is, getting rid of any foods that do not align with your body. I can say I never, ever eat fast food. I do not. Remember, food has energy, and whatever you're putting into your body is energy too. I was vegan for years, but now I have a very healthy, eat seafood. I don't eat any meat, but that's just because it just aligns better with my body. And remember, even the animals that we eat also hold energy in their bodies. And that's why I turned vegan, and I stayed vegan for about 6 years. The second thing is, I am, if you can see around me, I am all about your environment. And our environment has so much to do with the energy that we hold in our bodies, that vibration. And, I am one that sometimes my energy and my vibration changes and it expands even more. And I call them my sacred space facelifts. And I go around and I kind of facelift little areas of my space around me. And that doesn't mean me going out and purchasing, brand new things. I kind of move things around in my home. Or I make sure that everything in my house, as you can kind of look around me here, everything in my home brings me joy. Remember, the things that we have carry energy. And if you have things in your home that perhaps somebody gave you and it doesn't align with your style, but you kind of feel guilty for throwing it away or giving it to Goodwill because, just in case somebody comes to visit, you might feel bad. So are there things in your home that you're holding on to that have a low vibration? Funny story, I used to have, my mother-in-law was a painter, amazing painter, but it just wasn't my style. And I remember, one painting she had that anytime she came to visit, she would always look around and make sure, where is my painting? So what I would do is I would put the painting up on the wall when she was there, and then as soon as she left, I would take it down again. Well, I carried that around, that painting around with me, and remember that painting is holding on to negative energy. And in a loving way, I gave it to somebody else who doesn't have that same energy. And I'm telling you, everything that we hold that is surrounded, that surrounds us has energy. So take a look. Is there something that you need to let go of? Are your surroundings filled with, clutter? I cannot stand clutter. Yes, I have a lot of things, but every single thing in my home has this special moment. I can tell you exactly where I bought it. I can show you, all the little heart stones that I collected all over the world. But it really has so much to do with your inner vibration. So that's another thing. Number 3, I'm not really numbering these, but the third one, which is so important, is releasing people in your life that do not bring you up, raise you up in alignment with you. Not everybody has, the joy and the happiness that I feel now, but I have eliminated, or I have lovingly set boundaries around people that do not raise me up or make me feel good. If you ever go into a party and there are people in there that just have very draining energy, it's okay temporarily, but on a regular basis, I do not want to be surrounded by those people. I just had an instance where I kind of had to, really reinforce my boundaries because I needed to let go of this energy from these people. So that's another thing, is the people that we surround ourselves with. And I'm going to end with probably the most important: releasing all those limited and negative stories that we say to ourselves. Oh my gosh, this has everything to do with the energy that we hold. If we're feeling a low vibration, for me, when I feel a low vibration, I take a moment and I sit like, okay, what am I saying to myself? Am I in judgment? Am I in old default identity? Believe it or not, for the majority of my life, I thought I was a failure. That was the identity that I gave myself for the majority of my life. If you read my book, I Wish I'd Known, you will understand the story that I used to tell myself because I did competitive riding. I wasn't good at it. I didn't want to do it. I kind of failed at it. So my identity was basically built around the identity that I was a failure. And I have had to work really, really hard to, reframe that and understand that didn't belong to me, that story, and it wasn't true. Here's a little takeaway. If you feel like your energy shifts, are you even aware of when your energy shifts? If you are, if you meditate, that's the best thing about meditation, is you become more aware of the energy that we're feeling every day. I can immediately pick it up. And what I do is I just take a moment, take a breath, and just think about, okay, what am I saying to myself? Or have I been around people, today that have brought my energy down? Are there things in my environment that I need to get rid of? I don't like it. All of a sudden I'm like, okay, I got to change the room because it's not in alignment with my vibration. Or have you been eating foods that are not in alignment with your body? It all has to do with energy. And just remember this. Energy is everything. Everything is energy. I don't care what it is. Everything has energy to it. And this is a really good practice for you to, really become aware of, where you are on that scale. I'm not saying that every single day I am well, I have to say that I would like 90% now of my days are spent in this really, really high vibration. And when I feel a little bit of a dip, I take that moment and go through my list and see whether it's something that I'm doing, something I'm watching, people that I've surrounded myself with, I haven't gotten my nutrients, or there needs to be some sort of clearing in my environment. My lovely friend allows me to decorate, and I have completely redecorated this home. And, because I was just noticing that my energy was not aligning in this specific area. So anyway, so these are some of my top tips. Just really be aware of your vibration, because the higher the vibration, the more you are going to manifest exactly what you want every single day. So thank you for joining me.